Hello once again, my friends. I'd like to welcome you to another video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're having a great summer. This is summer in New England, and when it comes to summer in New England, one of the big traditions around here is the film Jaws. Steven Spielberg. Of course, the film was shot Nantucket, off Nantucket, and a lot of great history. Great movie, one of my all-time favorite movies ever. So what I want to show you today is a little something that I got to honor the film. This is going to be one of those examples where if it's too good to be true, probably is. So I got a bunch of little Jaws figurines that I thought, you know, for 30 bucks, but you get a lot. I'm like, ooh, these are pretty cool. Well, you be the judge. Let me show you guys what you think. I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so why don't we take a look, and I'll put up pictures of the listing, and like I said, it was $30 and I was all excited, and there's a lot of pieces in this. This is the box that came, and look at the size of my hand as it compared to the box. So right there could be a little warning sign to, you know, what to expect. So let's just kind of open it up. All right, let's take a look and see what we got. So that's everything in this tiny little box, so let's put that aside for a moment. And it's wrapped up in this kind of foam. We've got a little card that says thanks. Dear friend, thank you for shopping for our store. Have a good day. Alright, so this is just from the seller. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to open it up. So let me kind of I'm just going to dump out the contents and then we'll go through them. So the first thing I notice, and again, look at the size of the manual. It looks so big in the pictures, and I know everything does, but these I think are a bunch of little manuals. So they're all the same. So we'll put them all aside and we'll just utilize one. That's what I think it was. They probably are all sold separately and I just happened to get them all together. So let's take a look. We'll take a look at the cover first. And again, I apologize because it's so tiny. Takara TOMY A.R.T.S. You can see, I think that was from Jaws 3D with Louis Gossett Jr. So when you open it up, we'll take a look. You can see the Jaws with a shark with the cage, and then you see the cable. Then you see the raid, Jaws 3. When it breaks through the glass, and then you see the battle with the shark, and I love it. Look, you can see the little barrels. And when you look at the back of this, Takara TOMY.ARTS.co.jp. You can see the little barcode. There's another one over there. And I don't know if this is Chinese or Japanese, but that's the instruction manual. So let's take a look at the little figures, okay? Let's start with this one. Actually, let's do them in order. So from Jaws, first thing that I would remember is that we see the barrels. So let's get this opened up. And we got Bruce. If the shark in Jaws was this small, I don't think there would have been much for a movie. Yeah, the mouth does not open. Alright. And you can see the barrels. Of course, the barrels were attached to the shark. So, alright, when we put it together, you can see there are two little wells and there are two little pins. And what we're going to do is we're going to just put them together. You got a nice little diorama. So when it comes to the shark, you can see where the fins are going to go. And it's actually going to be held in place when it's down on a table. So this is pretty cool. I wish it was a little bigger. You can see the shark in the water. So that's the one with the barrels. So let's put that over there. The next one, you guys remember, would be when Hooper goes down into the shark cage. And this one has more pieces. So this one will be a little more involved in putting it together than the one with the barrels. So I'll just dump all the contents out and we'll put Bruce together. So you can see the little ball socket and you can see his face. So I guess the tail is going to be movable. So let's start by putting the shark together. So we've got the little channels that the pins are going to go into, and it's looking like we'll put the top of the half of the body on, and that's going to go together like that. And look, you can see where the tail is actually going to be movable, and then we're going to put the little ball socket to put his head on into the front. So does his mouth open? Yes, his mouth opens. So we can move him a little bit. I mean, it's so tiny. I hope they come out on the camera. Okay, so now it looks like we have little Matt Hooper. And Matt Hooper is going to go into the cage. You remember when they were running out of ideas on how to deal with the shark in the movie Jaws, Matt Hooper had instructed or was showing Brody and Quint what he could do. He had like a spear gun and he was going to inject the shark with toxins that would kill it. And that's when Chief Brody throws his life jacket and says, that shark will rip that cage to pieces, and Matt Hooper snapped. Do you got any better suggestions? So the cage, I'm going to quote Quint. So you go in cage. And Matt Hooper smiles. Cage goes in the water. Matt Hooper smiles and nods. Shark in the water. Matt Hooper smiles and nods. And Quint goes, farewell and adieu to you, fair Spanish lady, as he's smiling. So Hooper goes into the cage. Cage goes into the water. And that's actually a real shark that they're using around there. You can see where the shark is going to come through, where the bars are bent a little bit. See, they put like a protective plastic on the inside. It would have been open, but you can see where the shark would have broke through. So that's Matt Hooper, and he's in his little anti-shark cage with the shark. So these are from the original film. So next we'll go to the next one, and we're going to be going to Jaws 2. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, they're not the same, nothing lives up to the original, but I like Jaws 2. I like Jaws 2 a lot. I like all the Jaws films. So what this is like a little interlock system, so you can see how it's going to go together. So when you push it on the bottom, it's really easy, and I like the way the colored plastic looks like water. So we do that for the sections all the way around. So this is going to go like this. They all kind of interlock. So using a flat surface, you push it down and the base is all set with his jaw sticking out. Okay, so now we're going to take Bruce. Poor Bruce. He's been through a lot in this film. He gets set on fire with gasoline and then shot with a flare gun, and then ultimately he gets fried at the junction. So you put him on top like this, and you can see there's a little area that goes in, and that's how he looks when everything is together. And lastly, we've got the cable, the electric cable that's going to go into his mouth, and it's going to go just like that. And I'll take you off the tripod and you get some better pictures of everything in video. But they're pretty easy to put together. I guess they are pretty cool. The detail is nice. Like I said, I mean, it was 30 bucks though, and I wish it would have been a little bit larger. Okay, so now we move to the latest release, and well, not the latest, but the latest included in this set is from Jaws 3. And it's when the shark is coming forward and eventually hits the glass and everything shatters and the water starts coming in. So again, I'm going to empty out the contents. And you can see the look at the shattered glass. That's pretty cool. All right, so to put the glass together, again, we have the little wells and we have the pins, and then as easy as this, it's going to go just like that. Put it on a flat surface and then push it together. And this one kind of snapped. So you can see where the shark is going to come through. And next we're going to put the piece that's going to come out. It doesn't lock in at all. It's matter of fact, as soon as you let go, it's going to fall right out. I guess it's just to show the piece. All right, putting the shark together, he's going to go together similarly to the one that we did the first time. We got the little well, and we got the little peg that's going to go in. And remember to put the lighter color on the bottom. And now we're going to put in his belly. Just like that. You can see he turns. All right, when it comes to the... So he's got an area where this one has like a little base for him to be on. And we're going to put the glass into these little base feet, just like that. And what you do is you put him behind the glass. Let me move this one. So he'll be like that, and the glass has been broken out. So what I'll do is I'll take you off the tripod and I'll show you some better video of each one. Let's start with the closest one. So, like I said, the detail is pretty cool. I just wish they were a little larger for the price. because there are some spectacular sculptures from Jaws. Matter of fact, I just seen one where the shark is coming up onto the deck of the orca and is about to chomp on Quint, and the detail is just amazing. Of course, that's $5,000, so. But the detail on these are really nice. The painting, the only thing I would do is maybe touch up the teeth a little bit. But yeah, the shock is a little extreme because there was fire and there was actually some flames towards the end before the shark sank below the surface of the water. So this is a cable junction. So the shark is going to attack the kids on the boats who were out there because of the regatta, and Chief Brody knows the danger, so he goes out there. Now the shark is starting to go after the boats, so he sees the electric cable and he gets an idea of what might happen, so he starts banging on it with an oar to attract the shark's attention. So what ends up happening is the shark turns to Chief Brody, and then when the shark at the last moment comes out of the water to take a bite out of him, instead he's greeted with the electrical cable. And as soon as he bites down, all the wires, just all the contact and the electricity just goes through the shark. And towards the end, he's full of flames and he's burning, and then he goes back into the water and he's presumably killed. So this is the finale of Jaws 2. So let's put this one aside and we'll take a look at the one from Jaws 3. Jaws 3 was in 3D and it had Louis Gossett Jr. in it. And what it was like SeaWorld, and they had a lot of what was really cool, it was like they had these tunnels that went through the lagoon into the bottom of the ocean, and it was just really nice. And I've never been to SeaWorld myself, so I don't know if that's really what it is, but it was pretty wild. The movie, I like the movie because I like Louis Gossett Jr. too. Brody's son ends up going and working at SeaWorld. And in this scene is when they're looking at the glass and they're getting kind of paranoid because the shark is swimming right for the glass. Well, as soon as the shark hits it, we see the 3D effect with the glass coming at the camera, and then the shark coming in and all the water just coming in. So that's what this little diorama signifies. Okay, let's go over to the next one, where it would be Matt Hooper. So Matt Hooper is in the cage, and we have the little Bruce with the opening mouth. This one actually does open, so we'll close it a little bit. Kind of cute. I think sharks are cute anyway. Okay, so he's going after Hooper, and you can see the little bend. So I kind of described the scene where Hooper's in the water and he's so nervous. Usually you'll spit into the inside of the mask to kind of clear it up so it doesn't fog up. And Hooper looks up at Quint and he says, "I ain't got no spit," because he was so nervous. But he goes down into the water. What ends up happening is the shark does get into the cage and he gets tangled up in the lines, but Hooper does get away. So Hooper doesn't get killed. And what ultimately happens is, as soon as it comes back up, that's when the shark comes out of the water, it lands on the deck of the orca, it brings the whole ship up where the bow is out of the water, and Quint slides down into the waiting shark. So again, this one is pretty cool. And again, from Jaws 1, the original Jaws, we've got the barrels. Now these barrels, what they did was, they would shoot, Quint would use like a harpoon type weapon, and it would shoot into the shark, and then they would put a barrel on it. Now what the barrel did was, it would tire out the animal, and eventually it would come to the surface exhausted, where it would be captured. And Quint ended up using 3 of them. And he was starting to get upset, saying no one can go down with 3 barrels. Not with 3 barrels he can't, but this shark did. And we see later in the film that this isn't just a shark. I mean, he's pretty big. So you can see the shark at the bottom as he's taking the orca on a chase. He's trying to evade him, and many a times we see the barrels just disappear below the surface of the water. So this was, again, from Jaws 1. So we got 2 from the original film. We got Matt Hooper in his little anti-shark cage, and we got Bruce. And then we have the barrels, where the shark is going through the water with the barrels attached, breaking the surface. Then we have Jaws 3 in 3D. We got the shark breaking through. And we get the little broken piece of glass. And lastly, we've got Jaws 2. At the end, the film finale, when the poor shark gets fried at the end. So, those are all of the little figurines that I had gotten. They are pretty cool. I just wish they were bigger, because they were pretty pricey. It was, like I said, it was like 30 bucks for them. So I wish they would have been a little bit larger. But I thank you for watching, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're having a great summer. And until my next film, my next video, excuse me, I'll talk to you guys soon.